Make it count.
I must practice tolerance.
GSL 시즌 1 Regeneration 마이크로 GSL 시즌 1 Regeneration
What's up, everybody? It's time for the round of 8 in tonight's GSL. I'm super excited for Bunny here. He's gotten this far. He's got his ultimate challenge now to go up against Dark.
Damn, you must be, because you're getting right into it. We can't even say
know.
hello before you're like, Bunny! I love him!
There's no time.
Damn. But no, this is awesome. The round of 8 going to be so good this season. If I was a mythical creature, I'd be a hypogryph, because I am so hyped.
Nice. Yeah, today's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have one very close match, one serious David versus Goliath match. And of course,
which one is which? Because you're so
it's
excited
so hard
about
to
Bunny.
tell. It's so hard to say, Artosis. No, look, I think it's going to be really tough for Bunny to beat Dark, but, you know, it's nice to have him finally here in the round of 8. This is definitely a player we don't normally expect to get this far along.
No, certainly. This is a big, big deal for him right now, and he even won his group. Hey, you won your group. Congratulations. You get to play Dark in the round of 8.
I know.
Of course, Dark is someone who hasn't actually won a GSL yet. That's kind of a big deal within his life right now. He's talked in the past how he wants to be like the Zerg. He wants to be the guy that everyone remembers, just like Boxer, right? Which is like such a tall order. He better start winning tournaments if that's going to be the case.
Yes, for sure. By the way, if you guys are down here in our studio, please hang on to your tickets. We have a giveaway at the end of the show. Lots of cool stuff. You do not want to miss out on that. I love it when we get to the round of 8 and up here in the GSL, because I love seeing these guys and how they prep for these best of 5s. We've got a quick video, and we're going to go into our games.
뭐 8강까지 오는 제가 혼자 왔지만 혼자 온 게 또 아닌 게 이게 또 민수가 열심히 저랑 싸워줬는데 저한테 이렇게 또 아쉽게 져가지고 제가 또 16강을 우선 보내줬고 민수가 16강에서도 뭐 이거는 성주가 조지명식에서 제 계획대로 조를 잘 짜줘가지고 제가 좀 자신감 있게 8강에 안착하지 않았나 싶습니다.
그냥 좀 IM이나 WSG에서 진 게 원동력이 되지 않나. 근데 사실 그 전부터 뭐 계속 열심히 하고 있었거든요. 그건 끝나고 나서부터 계속 세랄 덕에 계속 이렇게 더 열심히 하게 되지 않았나.
아, 조졌다. 아, 이거 좀 그런가요? 아, 왜냐면은 명호한테 가지긴 했거든요.
8강에 어울리지 않는 사람이 한 명 있더라고요. 아니, 개인적인 그 연락으로도 만나지 말자라고 얘기했거든요, 둘 다. 이렇게 만나게 됐으니까 어쩔 수 없죠, 뭐.
태양이 형을 16강인가 8강인가 3대0으로 이긴 적이 있는데 그때 너무 좀 멋있어 보였죠, 아무래도.
그 장면 그대로 볼 것 같은데요, 다음 주 수요일에. 항상 저한테 져줄 때마다 미치더라고요.
무슨 자신감인지 모르겠는데 자기가 되게 잘생긴 줄 알더라고요. 그게 좀 약간 좀 항상 추해 보이고 좀 못마땅스럽네요.
약간 질투를 하네요, 저한테. 질투심이 좀 많은 것 같은데 저는 이번 IM 때도 좀 투한 모습을 봤거든요. 그 강한 상대는 다 이겨놓고 유서말 스칼렛한테 져가지고 12강을 못 간 거.
사실 8강 지금 가서 기쁜 거는 어쩔 수 없는 거고 이제 또 조만간 8강 경기를 해야 되는데 거기서 또 앞에 있는 경기에서 또 최선을 다해가지고 좋은 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
아니 뭐 항상 8강은 항상 쉽게 올라갔거든요. 만나봤자 3대0, 3대1 항상 이렇게 올라갔기 때문에 그냥 자신감이 있어요, 지금도. 당장 지금 오늘 해도 이길 것 같아요.
명우야, 너가 지금 많이 해먹었잖아. 너 나도 좀 살아보자. 같이 재밌는 경기에서 승자는 내가 되도록 할게.
재선아, 항상 이겨서 좀 미안하다. 앞길을 너무 막는 것 같네, 내가. 이번에 끝나고 좀 맛있는 거 하나 정해놔. 알겠지? 뛰지 말고.
Okay, we're about to start our first match. Again, this is a best of 5, and let's see what happens. Bunny is not supposed to win this. I think it's clear in that interview. Both Dark and Bunny are aware of their past records, the way they're perceived here, but maybe Bunny's got a shot. The problem is that, especially just recently, we saw how well Dark played in the round of 16. He looked absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, he looked all right, that's for sure. I mean, all these guys are having very good seasons right now. To see Bunny make it through that group, winning that, of course, Dark we're always considering to be one of the best players out there despite his lack of actual wins. But is Bunny ready to beat Dark in a round of 8 best of 5?
You know, one thing to notice, I feel like Dark has a really wide range of different styles.
Yeah.
I don't feel that so much with Bunny. I feel like Bunny has a few ways he's approached the game, and he's had a lot of success. And you'll see this even in a few little ticks in his game, like always picking up tanks with Medivacs to move them around. But going up against Dark, I feel like Dark is going to be so strong in a best of 5. He's got so many different ways he prepares.
Yeah.
And besides that, he's just oozing with confidence.
Well, always. It's almost to a fault.
Look at this. Overall, in all of StarCraft history in tournament matches, 5 to 16.
Yeah, and
Like I
more
said before,
recently,
4 to 15.
it's even a higher percentage for Dark. So
Yeah.
a little bit scary here for Bunny. I mean, I think it is going to be more of the same.
I hope not.
Well, Bunny is looking better and better. Like, there was a long period where I'm just like, Bunny's the 9th best Terran in the world. That's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? And he is looking better. He's looking stronger and stronger. And everyone talks about him in a somewhat condescending way, but with begrudging respect almost. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he is for sure a top 16, top 32 best player in the world, right? But it's crazy to see the skill difference with some of these guys at this level. Anyways, game number 1 is ready. Bunny versus Dark. Let's go. Get your boats ready. Oh yeah, we forgot to say that. That was
포트 알렉산더. 게임 준비 완료. 브레이서. 버니. Ghost Crew. Dark.
All right. Ugh. See what Bunny has planned here. Obviously, a ridiculously important moment for him.
G.O. Bunny. Thanks for coming down, everybody. We love you guys.
Really, a lot of people in the studio today.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be mentioning this a couple times here, but to get tickets to the finals, you're going to have to buy them online. It's $5. We're trying to make this actually more convenient for a lot of the people outside of Seoul. I know some of you guys before have come down to our studio at like 9 a.m. to make sure you can get a ticket and get in. So we're trying to make it better.
What's your sign? He says, please do the pylon show. Hey!
Oh, yeah.
Now that's
Now
brought
the
up
pressure's
Tasteless.
on.
So Tasteless,
you
are
know
you
what's
ever
so
going to do
crazy?
the pylon show?
I bumped into that guy last night. Yes,
Yeah?
I will do the pylon show. Yes.
Oh, guys, you heard him.
If you move it to nighttime. You guys do it so early in the morning. So early in the morning.
No. You don't get to pull back like that.
I don't want to wake up early.
Yeah, you're gonna have to though.
All right. Thanks for coming down. We love you.
8 years.
Welcome. UK. It's a long trip. I actually bumped into that guy last night, though.
Yeah?
The first guy with the sign, yeah.
Excellent. Where'd you bump into him?
Over one of my friends is running like a fighting game night.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be in the same. He just happened to be in the same location. It was very cool.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Cool.
So I came by there to support my buddy and bumped into him.
Well-
I was like, I'm coming tomorrow. I said, I'll see you down there.
Well, that guy's a legend because he's now forced you into this position where
I
you're
know.
going to have to go on the pylon show.
I know.
I was never going to confront you on air, but that guy just made it so easy.
Yeah. You got me nailed. Oh, by the way, Roach Warren here.
Yeah. It's pretty
Terran.
quick. No doubt. Some Hellions on the way here for Bunny. All right. I mean, it looks to me like it's going to be a pretty aggressive push here from the Roaches. Normally you won't get
Yeah.
the Warren this early otherwise.
Yeah, that's a little bit quicker. Now keep in mind, I think especially with Dark more so than actually almost any other Zerg we have really in this season of GSL, I feel as though he's the guy that will actually bring out so many different play styles. And it would make sense he'll have one build that's going to be like this to be aggressive
Yeah,
early
yeah.
on. Maybe in game 2 he'll switch back into more of a, kind of defensive macro style.
He has more aggressive openers than any other top Zerg in Korea, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess you could consider Impact. He probably has more aggressive, and it's more aggressive overall, but if you look at like the big 3 to 4 Zergs, right, the Sue, Rogue, Dark, and Solar, I would definitely put Dark as easily the most aggressive. Now, Bunny gonna come up and see a Roach going across the map. What are you doing there, Roach?
Okay, so he spotted this. There's going to be a little bit of time for the Terran to be tipped off, but the problem is that as the Ravagers come in here, your initial defense a lot of times is going to be like a tank or something like that. The Ravagers can easily gun that down. Right now, it's just these Hellions here.
Oh my
In fact,
God.
the Viking might even need to be pulled back and landed to try to help defend
Dude,
this.
I was so
We don't
busy
have-
watching this. Do you know what this is? This is a battlecruiser rush.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's just now starting the first one. These Roaches are coming up here, and the battlecruiser is still a long ways out. In fact, the Viking has to be lifted. As you can see, there's no real easy way here for the Hellions to actually fight the Roaches. They just don't do that much damage to them.
Yeah.
The bunker has one Marine in it, so it doesn't really need to be respected in this case. And every injured Roach, the most injured one, just gets turned into a Ravager.
Yeah. And look at this, though. He lifted the Viking. He fought with it brilliantly for a little bit and then lifted it up to kill the Overlord. So if he does go to the high ground, it's a lot harder for the Ravagers to hit their piles. I mean, I think that right now I'm looking at this, and I'm liking what Bunny is doing with what he has.
By the way, this CC is frighteningly low on HP here.
Yeah. Well, that's when he decides to come out and actually fight now.
Yeah. Doing a little bit more damage here. Again, it's still 2 Roaches and 2 Ravagers. That battlecruiser is almost out. And by the way, I did not expect Bunny to do this even once in the series. So this is already really cool to see how he prepared for this.
We've seen it popping up a little bit and having that success, so I'm really excited that he went for this. First battlecruiser is out. Oh, there's only going to be one battlecruiser. But, hey, look at that. Dark, not exactly ready for it.
Yeah, he's coming in here now. This is a lot of damage to these drones. Looks like the Queen's going to be the first casualty here. So
Oh
we're
my
actually pretty
God.
good control here. Unable to get any kind of transfuse off over there.
No, doesn't have the energy as of yet. Look at that, 2 Queens already going down. Now running in with his Hellions over to the 3rd base.
Okay, a lot of damage on these drones. This is actually an excellent counterplay. You can see already a lot of workers been killed off 8. The battlecruiser's still alive and well inside the main. Now going over here to the natural.
It's just picking up more and more kills. Of course, those spores holding it back a little bit. Queen's very hesitant to fully commit onto it.
And the second battlecruiser should be out, right? Or it's about to pop out.
He switched
halt
the add-ons. Yeah,
Ah,
he just
okay,
had just
okay,
one
excuse
DC.
me.
But look, he can always jump this back and then, you know, repair it up, get ready for the next fight. Yeah, I think it's time for the jump.
Okay.
It's getting too low. Jump it! Jump it!
Oh my God.
It's freaking me out.
And now another counterattack over
Does
here.
he not have the jump ready, I guess, actually?
He must not have it. There
Oh,
it is
there
now.
it is. I was going to say.
In fact, I did, barely. It's too bad there wasn't a Ravager or 2 there to just
I
corrosive pile that right out of the air.
My God.
That would have been satisfying.
Cases leaves the GSL satisfied.
So now the upgrades are coming out here for Terran. 1-1 on the way. This has been really back and forth as far as action goes.
Well, this is a cool game to
Yeah.
open with. I love these BC rushes. It's really cool that Bunny right in the first game here on Port Alexander, you know, decides to just bring out a battlecruiser build, gets rushed, micros fantastically against it, some good decision making, right? That's kind of dangerous. You're rushing up to BC, you only have a few Hellions, they hit you with a bunch of roaches. That's scary stuff.
Yeah, he had to try to buy a lot of time by kiting away there. Now look at this. Stim finishes the second this drop actually starts. And there's going to be a lot more damage over here inside the main.
Yeah.
Behind this, we have Bunny taking a third base. Now, even though this harass is really cool, if you look at the worker count, Dark is still way ahead. He's got way more drones.
Yeah, that's definitely true, but I kind of like this because, look, yeah, he targets down a Queen and the Spore and then just jumps in the BC, right? So it's like, yeah, you have a lot of drones, but for how long with this BC on the loose?
Is he going to drop this again in the main, too?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, one Queen goes down. You can really see what a headache this is for the Zerg. Whoa!
Oh,
for
yes.
repair, that's sick.
That's amazing. Repair it!
Repair it! My minerals are repaired, you gotta do one!
One or the other. Go scout with it.
Do something cool tactically or do something stylish. Oh, hold on.
Hold on. Is Bunny getting a little bit too fancy here? This third base in some trouble, losing a bunch of units there to that roach push.
Oh
my
BC
God.
goes down.
Loses that BC even with the mule drop on it. Oh, Bunny was just being too cool for school, Tasteless.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where, as cool as the rush was, the BC rush, and as good as the harass was, seems like Dark just had a lot of roaches, and positionally, Bunny wasn't really set up to actually fight off roaches. He wasn't paying attention to the lack of roaches in the natural, for instance, and because of that, this attack has forced the CC to lift. Now, that doesn't mean that Bunny's going to lose, but it certainly doesn't put him in a great spot. I mean, there's so many roaches out here now, and the fact that Bunny's picked up this much for a drop, if Dark decides to attack in, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to just break into the natural and run him over.
Well, Bunny's taking a bit of a risk right now, but I think it's probably the best move, right? He doesn't have a whole hell of a lot else going on right now, whereas Dark has everything in the universe being upgraded. All right, this drop comes out. Now see what he can get done.
All that being said, the Roaches and Ravagers actually came back, so it looks like instead it's going to be Dark actually defending this attack over here. Right now, Dark on 4 bases. He's getting very close to maxing out, and he's not slowing down on the number of Roaches and Ravagers he's making here. So I think once Dark is confirming that he's not going to be harassed anymore, he should be able to run over there and actually make that third command center lift up again.
Yeah,
I don't think Bunny has enough to hold that.
You're probably right about that, but look at this. He actually finishes burrow movement, and Bunny sees that just as he's leaving. So that makes this game a bit more interesting. Couple turrets on the way instantaneously as he sees that finish up. Very, very important to get those up.
Okay, comes that Roach Burrow. Those turrets just a little bit out.
Here we go. Look at that.
Jaws music is playing.
Okay, no, that's the Terran theme.
Now we've got... actually, that was held off pretty well.
Yeah.
Is this a full wall in over here at the natural?
No, it's not.
It's not, okay.
But he's got a turret on both sides, so should see this coming in. It's not that many roaches. Deals with it easily. Looks like a burrow and burrow movement, not really getting too much done.
So it is worth pointing out here that roaches do not parlay well into late game.
Yeah.
You're invested in something that's going to be pretty strong, into the mid game. But right now, what Bunny's doing is he's developing pretty healthily into late game. So he might have a superior army, and assuming that there's no other way for Dark to do too much more damage to him.
Well, I think that Dark is probably going to go Ultralisks as soon as his Hive is done, which this is kind of an older unit set that he's playing with. Like, when Ravagers first came out, there was a lot of Roach Ravager even on 3-base into 3-base Ultra. That was pretty strong. Now, I mean, the same thing exactly isn't really used anymore, but it's kind of a similar idea, right? He's been using these Roaches and Ravagers, getting the best he can out of them, while switching into Zergling upgrades. Yeah, there's the Ultralisk Cavern. So, you say that Bunny's going to get a better army, and in some ways you're right, but as long as Dark is, and once he gets the Ultras out at least, as long as he's on creep, I think he can hold anything Bunny throws at him.
And to your point, the creep is actually being spread pretty nicely here. Now, this may be an ill-timed, actually, this is actually probably not an ill-timed attack, I'd say, here for Bunny, but the counter-attack here for Dark is also quite good. That's going to cause the army to go back. We're still a ways out from the Ultras being made, but with this army being pulled back to try to defend, I think that was a really good play here by by Dark because it's bought enough time. There will be Ultralists coming out. There's right now about... Actually, there's not that much gas banked up here.
Oh my god,
Dark.
he hits it before the siege tanks get siege. So many biles going down as well, just smashing through these siege tanks.
Yeah, that was it. You know, Bunny's screen was just not over that when the attack started. And basically the worst time you can siege up as Terran is right when your entire army is being surrounded and they're already taking damage.
And he was over on creep basically, right? So
yeah.
it was just so quick that he was jumped upon. And now that we have that Ultralisk Cavern done, Chitinous on the way, there's like a lot of Ravagers here. Great creep spread, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
Like, I really like what Dark is doing at the moment here. Now, I feel like this type of situation you never want to leave during as Bunny.
You like the Nidus?
Yes, very much so.
That's cool.
Very much so. Because I was just going to say, what happens... Oh, that almost killed his hatch is hilarious. One more bile would have killed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, something that we see sometimes when people do a strategy like this and go into Ultras is they'll overcommit in frontal attack because they'll be so far ahead, and that's where you actually start to lose a Zerg because...
Oh my god!
That was so close.
Yeah.
Oh. But look, sometimes they'll like overcommit a frontal attack, and you know, things like planetaries, buildings in the way, kiting back. The Ultras just kind of, they glitch out. Their AI kind of sucks around all that stuff because they're so big. And you'll see a huge mistake because of that. But to use a Nidus instead, do an attack and get out, I think that this is a great way to utilize your Ultralisk tech. I think that I love the way that Dark's playing this game.
Yeah, Dark is really showing why he's such a scary player. I mean, this was a back and forth game at the start, but it now seems like Dark is just way outgrowing his opponent here. We've got a Spire coming down here as well. There's the Nidus.
Oh, man.
Shine was trying to show us earlier that was a likely spot. The only area where there's not really any vision and or sensor tower in Bunny's territory. And this is a lot of infrastructure.
Yeah. Let's see what he gets done.
The fact that he's pushing out now, the fact that some of these tanks are sieged, this is so much damage.
Yeah, +2 Adrenalings. Like, that's pretty crazy. He can definitely get good damage done with that. We'll see how much he actually commits through. Now, Bunny turned around for a moment, a little bit indecisive, because he turned around, then he turned back. So it looks like he's still going with the attack. He's actually on creep at the moment. We have some Vipers out here throwing out some beautiful parasitic bombs on this huge fleet of medevacs.
So here's the problem right now. Yes, Bunny's doing damage on Dark's side of the map. Dark has a lot more than he can afford to lose than Bunny does. And Bunny's being eaten from inside out here. I mean, it's tearing through the main. It's going to be nothing but a bunch of command centers. Eventually, the Zerg will hold this off. In fact, that might even be right now. As this attack continues to come up here, every single one of these medevacs is 1 or 2 shots away from dying.
Yeah, those parasitic bombs were madness. That was just crazy.
This should be GG in a second here. Yep, there it is.
Wow.
Dark takes game 1.
Wow.
Dark. You can see that, like, the longer the game goes on, the stronger Dark looks. I think Bunny had a really good start. That was really exciting to see. But then, as Dark manages to stabilize, I think after being caught off guard by the battlecruiser, he looks really strong.
The battlecruiser did catch him a bit off guard, but his roach attacks overall did enough that it wasn't something that was ever going to break him.
Also, I want to point out, I feel like when we see Bunny's games, one of the defining differences that makes him not as strong as Innovation or Maro or these other great Terrans is that he's not really good at big pushes late game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Alive. You know, Alive has a tough time with splits against Banelings. Sometimes you can see that Bunny actually has the right army, like any top-tier Terran would have, but he's not watching it, or he's not ready for a fight.
Yeah, I would somewhat agree. Like, as far as end-game Terran armies, really it's like the Horsemen that can pull that off. Maybe Gumiho as well, but that's pretty much it. All the other Terrans don't really have as much of a developed end game and utilizing those armies in that way.
Yeah. We're going to go to Kairos Junction here for game number 2, and that game is just now loaded up. Bunny versus Dark. Game 2 starts now.
멀티뷰 GSL 시즈널 리제너레이션 게임이 시작됩니다. 카이로스 정션 게임 준비 완료. 브레이서 버닝.
So Bud. See how this Bud does in game 2.
Fourth crew, Dark.
Pulling gas here for Dark.
Yeah, kind of cool. See what he's up to. Yeah, that first game was super cool, though. I think, like, I really enjoy these BC openers. I really do, and I hope that they could continue to get used and get fleshed out a little bit more in their current form. I know they were a little bit more powerful before, but what was it? Yamato got, like, nerfed a little, if I recall that patch correctly. Not something I see much as a Protoss player, but anyways, you know, I think overall...
Oh, gaming, we love them.
Nice. I think overall, the way that Dark approached that, like, he got the burrow movement, it didn't do anything, that's okay. He had a good, healthy amount of Ravagers and got into his speed banes relatively quickly. I can't believe how good his creep spread was, considering how many queens he had to use to fight the BCs.
We love you guys from Italy. We got people from all over the place down here.
You know, I actually, that sign about StarCraft 3, I had a dream the other night that we were at some sort of gaming thing and they announced StarCraft 3, and I just laid on the floor and cried. It was a happiness cry.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
more StarCraft. But anyways, yeah, the way that Dark played that strategically, I'm so in love with it. Amazing creep spread. I love the Ultra. I think more people should think about going into Ultra for a little bit. Like, there's definitely times, especially when they get a big ghost count, where the Ultras get a little bit scary to use. But if you have good creep spread, I mean, the Ultra is the ultimate, man. It's not the Brood. They're so strong. Wow.
15 years. Welcome. Damn. Welcome. He got applause for that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a long-time StarCraft fan right there. Game's only been out for like
20,
a little over 20 years.
Yeah. No, it's 21 years now.
No.
It's old enough to
Is it 21 now?
Yes, it's old enough to
Yeah, I
buy
guess you're
alcohol
right.
in America.
It's 21
Yes.
years old. We can finally go to war.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, just going into the Ultras and then getting the Nidus for some attacking because you don't really want to attack frontally with Ultras. Oh, man. Just awesome play. Really cool stuff.
So we're about to have things heat up very quickly here. Oh, wait, are we actually? He didn't make that much. I think this is almost made to look like it's going to be a big attack like the last game. I'm sorry, but he's actually making drones behind this.
Yeah, it's a little poke.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
This is intended not to wipe out the natural, but to maybe make it lift off. Maybe try to take out the reactor or the tech lab here.
He's getting some decent intel with it as well. When the Viking comes out, you know, you're going to eventually kill off that Overlord. It's going to be hard. But yeah, he didn't overcommit his units here, really. Bunny not repairing that much, so he's actually going to lose his reactor. That's rough.
Yeah, I don't feel like he was quite respecting the small number of units that came up here, because...
Whoa, he actually didn't come over to repair.
Yeah, he just never repaired.
Whoa.
Is this a have your cake and eat it build now? Because he just didn't...
Yeah.
He didn't, like, really react in time, you know?
Like it did almost more than a full attack in the previous game. Like, that was very impressive how much that got done.
Okay, Dark is in a very good spot right now.
He does end up losing everything. That was some good micro on the Reaper right there. I was almost like not as interested in the push.
Well, I just thought he was going to repair it and then drive it out, but with no SCVs to repair that. What just blew up over there?
So he started... Wow, everything's blown. Let me make a list for you on the things blown up.
Please.
But yeah, he started a fusion core and then canceled. So it seems like he wants to go into Cloak Banshee instead here.
Okay.
Damn, I really wanted the fusion core.
Yeah. Wow. Well, okay, guys. So just to kind of summarize what we saw there, that was intended to look like a lot more of a dangerous rush than it actually was. And behind it, he was making drones. He was really hoping to maybe take out a few of the add-ons up here, make the Terran repair. But for some reason, Bunny just didn't seem to respect the rush itself for what it could at least do. He didn't repair that. He actually ended up breaching the main, doing some good damage. Behind this, it's 28 SCVs to 45 drones.
Yeah.
Only recently has Bunny been able to mine from his natural, which he made like a while ago. So, I mean, this is... Dark has taken a lead in so many different directions. That's not even how a pro match is supposed to look.
Well, I think that Bunny is at least giving himself some options here, some availability of fighting his way back, right? He's getting Cloak Banshees, and his third command center already finished. So Yeah, he took some damage, but 3 CC, very strong. Haven't put Banshees out there. We'll see if he can get some damage done. Don't forget the third base of Dark isn't like super on time or anything, right? He hasn't been on 3 hatch production the entire time or anything like that, and even the natural hatchery because he went gas pool to open. So if you look at the timings of the drones and everything, I think it's not quite as bad as it looks on paper, but certainly that attack did more than I was thinking it was going to do.
I'll put it like this: Dark is very happy with the early game and how it went.
All right.
Okay, that is
we will definitely
that is
agree
way
on this.
more than I think anybody would have theoried out. Would have been.
Yeah.
So we have Banshees coming up here now. No Overseer here just yet.
He's morphing it, but actually going after the Queens, that's really nice. My God, he might be able to actually just power down the Queens. Oh, fourth one comes.
Okay, one Banshee goes down.
Well, kills 3 Queens for a Banshee. Gets 2 drones and will just barely get out.
Oh.
Crazy. All right. Seems all right. 1-1 on the way for both sides at about the same time.
Yeah. So if they can keep on top of their upgrades, they'll be matched for most of this game. Now, this time around, let's also keep in mind what happened in the last game here was that Bunny was not actually ready for an attack on his third. That was one of the big moments back there. Seems like this time he's sending tanks out. He's probably going to siege up right away here and be ready for some kind of attack. Once again, we have Roach Ravager here, although really Dark has decided to go into a much more macro-oriented game. I don't believe he's going to be attacking anytime soon here, at least not with the unit composition he has here. There's like macro hatcheries coming down here. He's focused on upgrades.
Well, it looks like a very similar build to the previous game where he'll switch into Zergling upgrades, probably go into just Ultras from there, and have a nice, healthy group of Ravagers out. Like, it's a very cool thing to see him using this almost throwback-ish unit set. Now, Bunny walking out, we'll see. I think this is just for creep clearing. I can't imagine him getting anything else done. But that is important. That was a big part of the last game was the creep. And, especially before the Ultralisk speed upgrade is done. But just in general, you need that creep if you're going for this type of unit comp.
Okay, combat shield's almost done. A lot of Lings coming out here now. Missile attack, armor attack, also about to finish. So upgrade-wide, I'd say everything is pretty even here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody with any kind of substantial lead.
No, certainly not.
We're getting very close to a max-out point here for Dark. Bunny's going to try to pick up and do a drop probably over here into the main. There is enough out here for Dark, I think, to spot and see this coming in ahead of time. He has some overlords over the area on the map at the top that you can't land anything at.
I think it's still the right idea, though, from Bunny. If your opponent is skipping any sort of real anti-air, it's not like there's going to be Hydralisks that ambush you and kill your medevacs. There's no mutas or anything like that. Like, you need to try to punish someone that's sitting there on Roach Ravager.
Well, yeah, that's one thing about Roach Ravager inherently is that it does struggle to fight off drops.
Yeah.
It does, because there's no easy answer. I mean, technically, Corrosive Bile can hit a medevac, but that's not supposed to ever happen if both players are actually being attentive with their armies.
I think that he's going to do good damage with the drop towards the main, and I'm basing it on almost a superstition at this point.
Yeah.
There's a spore on the side of Dark Space. Anytime we see a spore on the side of a Zerg space, they take lots of damage from medevac drops. I think that it's actually a mental I'm not even joking right now.
Oh, no, I like what you're saying, actually. Please,
I think it's like a mental thing. Yeah, this is something that we have seen so many times in GSL where you'll have a spore on the side of your base, and you're like, okay, that's there to stop medevacs. And it almost makes you too comfortable, right? And then drops come in and do damage. And it's like, what? You can't just leave a spore there and set it and forget it, right? It's not some sort of Willie Mays infomercial, right? You gotta do more than that. But he's just sitting the medevacs there. I guess he's really waiting for some real action to pick up.
Okay, at this point in time, I think Dark is beginning to flirt with the idea of possibly hitting this base down here in the bottom center. He's certainly very close by. You can see Bunny trying to come out here on the map and maybe eliminate some of this creep, but Dark has grown at a very scary rate here. The map is, you can see on the mini-map here, creep is beginning to surround the Terran, which is never good. I think Bunny is trying to come out here and drive some of this away, but this is the thing about Dark that makes him just so difficult to come out and push against. He's so good at controlling the map. That's always the scariest thing about a top-tier Zerg, is the ones that just, it's hard to leave your base. Anytime you drop them, for instance, you lose everything. They just don't seem to take damage. And we still have these 3 medevacs up here.
They're waiting for that moment.
I'm surprised he didn't send that drop in there when he saw all those Ravagers down there at the bottom of the map. I thought for sure that would be a nice moment to do something.
Yeah, well, I don't know what he's saving it for. Like maybe Dark attacking him or Bunny's full-on attack going out. I mean, it's got to be one of those, right? If he hasn't done it yet.
I feel like at this point in time with the Zerg taking the 6th base, this is now the Terran's problem. Terran has to come out and do something. Do you see how many minerals and gas Dark has banked now?
Yeah, it's a bit. It's a bit.
He's probably going to attack in here just to free up supply. And still these medevacs are out here waiting. Now, that being said, if Dark's maxed out, he attacks into that base, that means there's nothing back at home to defend.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That could make it a good time. Let's see. He's going for it right now, pushing forward. And you're right, Tasus, the medevacs are going to the main base. Oh my God, those blinding clouds. Just absurd.
If I had never seen this game before, I would assume that there was no way Terran could ever beat Zerg. This is so brutal.
Well, those blinding clouds were insanity. He got every siege tank for free, basically.
Yeah.
He did just target down the Ultralisk Cavern right before Chitinous Plating finished, so that is a gigantic upgrade to deny. And obviously the late game tech of his opponent. So the drop, I think the drop did all right.
You know what, man? I just don't know. I don't feel like Bunny is going to be able to remake an army anywhere near as fast as Dark can. I think Dark comes out, rinse and repeat, attacks it again. He starts to take out these expansions.
Well,
I'm worried for Bun here, man.
I think it's also hard, though, like, attacking in, you got, like, 1-2 Ravagers. That's, you know, fighting against Bio, even if you got rid of the tanks. I think they're a little bit more of a support unit, right?
Ooh. Dark is, like, spelling his name on the map with Biles.
Yeah. All right, Bunny trying to push into this creep area. This is just absurd, this creep spread. Yeah. He's having a hard time getting through.
This is like when you're playing the campaign and everything on the map is covered in creep and you got to slowly move out with Jim Raynor and try to take it all out. Okay, here comes another big attacker. Now, there's so many Biles. I think there's actually no way that, well, even with the Banelings, there's no way to keep the command center going. This is one of the problems. When Zerg gets this much of a lead, they have this much gas, you can actually just Baneling into command centers and it's fine.
Yeah.
Because you have such a strong economic engine with the expansions you have. There's really not a whole lot Terran can do.
Well, Dark is one of the main guys, too, that'll just go for 100 Banes and roll into your main base. But look at this. He's just poking and prodding. Look at that. I love the parasitic bombs. They're doing so much work for him. Biles absolutely everywhere. He's got such a mass of these Ravagers. It's like hard to dodge these even.
Yeah, Bunny's dead, I think, man.
Yeah.
This is so brutal that Terran never really got to leave his base.
Dark is looking tip-top right now.
The other thing, too, is that these Ravagers, they don't even matter. Like, even if you were to lose all of them, we're already into the next phase of this game here. There's 9 Ultralists, there's a bunch of Banelings being made.
Well, with 9 Ultras on the way, that's like hilarious almost. Wow. Okay. Well, Dark right now is using this style that you don't really see anyone using right now. I don't even know. I love it.
I don't even know if he thinks this is optimal, like the way to play the game, or if this is just some style he knows he can use and that Bunny
it's
might
Dark
struggle against.
It's Dark Tomorrow, my friend, because he is always coming up with his own stuff. Don't forget, like, this is the guy that was going like Roach Corruptor for a long time against Terran. Like, you know, back in 2016 and whatnot, he was utilizing Corruptors a lot in the matchup. Here he's, for his anti-air, like, these parasitic bombs are so money every time on these big medevac clumps. And it's like he knows he's not killing medevacs all game, basically, because he has no anti-air, and then he's just, like, using a bunch of parasitic bombs and cleaning them out instantaneously almost, getting into that Ultralisk, focusing on the creep spread. The way that Dark is playing is, I bow down to this Zerg god. Just so good.
Okay, King's Cove for map number 3.
Okay, he's got to go BC again. Has to do it. I think it did reasonably well in the first game, and I think he wanted to do it in the second game. I think he wants to do BC most of the game.
I feel like he needs to do something to actually end the game even maybe faster than a BC rush will do Artosis.
I don't think you can kill Dark early, though.
But I don't think you can kill Dark late either. Okay, we've
Ooh,
already seen
that's a
the
good
games
point.
go late, all right?
When does Dark die?
I don't know.
In the finals, generally.
Nice. This is tough, man. Dark is looking bigger, faster, stronger than Bunny right now. I think he does need to bring something very different. You might be right about him going BCs. He might try to do that. I don't know if it's a wise decision. I think he needs to do something even crazier. Our game's loaded up. This is game 3, Bunny versus Dark. Right now, Dark with a 2-0 lead.
마틴 GSL 시즌 리제너레이션 게임이 시작됩니다. 킹스 코브 게임 준비 완료. 브레이서 버니.
It's a big deal for him to be in the round of 8, but so far having a bit of a hard time here against Dark.
Ghost Crew Dark.
Quick pull here.
Yeah, not the quickest, but it's reasonably quick. Like, before hatch, no gas this game, though. I think that this is quite likely the one where you just run around the Reaper and try to cancel the CC. You can do it with 2 lings or 6, I believe. Guess that means you could do it with 4. You can really do anything you want.
That's called the Goldilocks amount of lings, Artosis.
Dark fan in the audience, but who's not really?
It's just going to be a 3-0, man.
It might be.
I feel like I'm not even warmed up yet. You know?
Well, it's not all about you, Taste. It's about these young gamers.
That's why it's not called the TSL.
Yeah.
I got to say, man, I don't know what Bunny can do. From Singapore?
Look at that nice gentleman. He's like, let me get out of the way of this sign for you.
Yeah. We got the links coming out.
Yeah.
They're moving across the map now.
Yeah, you want to run around the Reaper and kill the SCV if possible on the CC, and then sometimes you can target it down if the Reaper's all the way on the other side of the map. But I like that Bunny's making a Marine. That really helps against this. If you just go directly into Reactor, then you just don't have anything that fights 6-lings. While Marine does not beat 6-lings, it, you know. Ooh, this Overlord baiting.
Oh,
Get
no.
out of here.
Okay, great splitting here.
Yeah.
He might be able to get on top of the depot if he does this right.
Yeah, I don't
excuse
think
me,
he
I didn't see those
wants
SCVs coming down.
Now you can see that, like, how serious this is. He does not want that CC to go down. So let's see how many SCVs he gets because of this. Oh, is he hitting a Marine? Oh my God. This is actually a pretty good micro from Bunny, I want to say.
Yep.
Look at some pretty low SCVs in there. Look at 4 low SCVs.
Yep. But he hasn't gotten as many kills as I think he would have liked to.
Yeah, no, I
mean, 2 kills? That's not ideal.
I thought he was going to get at least 4, and he did enough damage to get that, but it was pretty good micro.
You know what? And the CC finished as well.
Yeah. Didn't slow everything down nearly as much as you know, in another universe maybe he would have.
Okay. Ling speed coming down here now. I would say this is not the worst start for Bunny.
No, it's all right. Like nothing's gone terribly wrong, and he's gonna get this Reaper back over here and get a bit of a scout off. Of course, you kind of want to know if there's gonna be roaches on the way. Now, does he go for the fusion core? Please.
Well, the fact that he didn't do anything wild or crazy, he's actually sticking to more of a macro build. He's going for cloak now.
Oh.
I guess he just wants to try to play a more straight-up game.
Doesn't he care what I want?
I know.
I know it's his first round of 8, but I really just want to see BC builds.
So we've got some more Lings coming here. Again, kind of as a theme with these two guys, when we've seen them play together, is that Dark, even if the game's close early on, it seems like once Dark gets to a certain supply and a certain number of, at least in the last 2 games, roaches, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot Bunny can do. Bunny doesn't seem to be able to drop. He doesn't seem to be able to push. He doesn't seem to be able to do much of anything.
I think he's been fixing a lot of those things, but it's not to the level of some of our very tip-top Terrans. Now, this is going to be a Hellbat Banshee push. He's just continually making Hellions and Banshees, and definitely going to be going for it. And Overlord flew in, so I think Dark has a reasonable idea of what's up.
I also think this is a really good adjustment for Bunny from game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
This kind of very specific timing.
Well, you said you thought he should end it early, and this is the one way that, like, every Zerg dies to sometimes.
Yeah. There's just not a lot of time for the Zerg to prepare and get ready for this.
And it looks like a pretty normal build, too.
Yeah, so this is very well disguised here by Bunny.
Yeah.
Now the drones have been pulled, so what he's going to do is he's going to wedge his army at the natural here. This is going to be really difficult as far as rally points go, especially with all these Zerglings making here.
I'm going to say that one queen in the back actually being a little bit of a hero. These queens starting to take some significant damage. Some more lings are popping out. Oh, a counterattack going on.
But this isn't going to do anything. Is this enough damage here?
He's got to hold on at the same time as that counterattack. 11 SCVs down. The drone count has been kept extremely high during this, but all the queens die.
I was actually confused. I thought for sure that was going to be the drones with all these Hellbats literally in the natural mineral line. Now here come the lings. Obviously, lings are not good against Hellbats, but with the numbers get this small, it seems like they should eventually be able to clean this up.
Okay, so Bunny ended up killing lots of queens and lings, but very few drones overall. Of course, Dark was forced into producing a lot of lings. But the fact that Dark got like 11 SCV kills during that, I just feel like Dark is outclassing Bunny so far today.
Okay. You know, what a weird rush. You know, the fact that we had all those Hellbats get in there. And there was a link counterattack, of course, but it was all the SCVs that died on that side and not the drones on the Zerg side.
Yeah.
Like on paper, that's supposed to murder tons of drones. Obviously, killing queens is still going to hurt the Zerg economically. And I guess this also allows the Banshees to be a little bit stronger and come in here and do some more damage. But already Dark's made so many more queens. It's just like, ugh.
Well, Bunny keeping this harassment up as best as he can right now. He is going into mech play from here, so that'll be interesting to see. We don't see Bunny go mech too often.
But I think the larger question is really, did Dark get slowed down enough? I don't think he did. I think Dark is feeling just fine.
Yeah, not yet.
And that means we're in the same predicament, at least for Bunny, that we were in game 1 and game 2, where, okay, you guys both had these strategies. In some cases, they worked better than they did in other games, but the end result is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Dark is now going to bring this game into a macro game. He's going to start mass producing. His creep's going to start going all over the map. And I don't know if there's a lot that Bunny can do about it.
Yeah.
I feel like Bunny's strong suits have always been the early game and the mid game. They've not been the late game. In fact, go into your memory, Artosis.
Yeah.
Do you remember a ton of great Bunny games, late game, that you've casted here?
Well, no, not yet. Not yet. And we did mention this a little bit before, where it's like late game Terran in StarCraft 2, it's like it's pretty hard. You don't see a lot of players going to the late game.
Yeah.
It's like 3 of the horsemen are really good at late game, and Byun is sometimes. He fluctuates the most. And then Gumiho is good at late game because he always goes mech, so he's just like very much at peace in the late game.
He's trying to get in the late game.
But all the other Terrans in Korea are a bit more aggressive overall, the good ones at least. So, yeah, we haven't seen that from Bunny yet, but the way he's been improving, I think that it's something that's going to improve right alongside that, and I feel like we have seen some improvements in it lately. Now, I want to mention the type of mech that we're seeing out of Benny. Benny. Let's just call him Benny.
Call him Bobby.
That's a good ID.
Benny the Bunny.
Anyways, what we're seeing is a more old-school type of mech. It's not one of the new battle mechs that we've been seeing Gumiho and Fantasy play around a lot with, where there's a ton of Cyclones and you're just kind of playing lock-on forever. This is a bit older. You see the double Thor drop coming out against these Hydras. I don't know that this Thor drop is going to do much, and if he loses the Medivacs, it's going to be very, very sad.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I guess he might not have anticipated Hydras would be out already here.
Well, this is kind of the new thing. For a while, like when this was the type of mech, you would almost always see a bunch of roaches first. But against the new battle mech style that's been popping up, and again, if you want to see some games of that, there's some really good ones from both Fantasy and Gumiho, where it's tons of Cyclones locking on with this new Cyclone. Hydras are much better. Like, the Roaches don't do anything against that. So I'm not surprised that Dark went into Hydras very quickly when he saw Mech.
Okay, we got the Thor drop happening here. Hydras are beginning to barrel down, try to do some damage.
He's got to get out of here.
Yeah.
He has to get out of here right now. That's the problem when there's Hydras. Like, you don't pick up at a distance like a War Prism. You can't stay there very, very long.
Yeah, and of course Hydras are so fast on creep as well.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, is he going to surround it?
He might. Dark's looking for it.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. I just was looking at Bunny's face when that...
Yeah. So
it was a look of pain.
Yeah, the Thor drop, again, this is a dated style of mech. I don't want to call it dated completely, but it's an older style. I think it's probably still usable. But like when Gumiho kind of invented the double Thor drop, it was when you were seeing against mech lots of roaches into swarm hosts. And this was a good way to counteract that, whereas because Battle Mech is the more popular, the strong one right now that we see a lot of players doing, and that people are going Hydras more often, it's just, you have to be so careful. It's the same thing. It's like the Archon drop forces the roaches, right? And when they get the Hydras out, you're like, ooh, should I still be doing this? Same thing here. It's like the Thor drop. If they have a lot of anti-air, this is no good.
Yeah, this is, I don't know, man. I'm feeling a little bit sad, Artosis. It's rough watching Bunny go down like this.
Yeah. Well, he's not dead yet. I mean, Mech Tasis, as they say, is a pretty cost-efficient unit composition.
He's not dead yet, Artosis, but wait for that Nidus Storm to finish, and then he will be.
Maybe. That's a fair point you have,
yeah.
Tasis.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if there's any push that can come here. I guess, you know, well, actually, Dark is still pretty big economically. Okay, so now he can dump a lot of extra gas into Banelings. He's going into the Greater Spire. So every time that Dark sends the unit composition he has in and does damage, he can go back and remake it into the same thing as before or something completely different. And this is a really technical way to win late game as Zerg, is because Zerg can make everything in one set of their hatcheries. You can basically attack into their army, kill a bunch of stuff, and then look at what they have left over.
Yeah.
And then adjust that dramatically. Here we go. Here's a Nidus Swarm.
It's a very regular way to play against mech as well as swift switches in tech. Like, if you kill their anti-air, bam, go for it.
He's going to kill it.
No problem with that siege tank there really helping out.
What about this one? What about this intense game of really slow whack-a-mole, Artosis? What about that?
It's got to go quicker than that.
Is that what it's called, whack-a-mole? Those games in, like, kids' arcades where the little...
Yeah.
The little animal comes out trying to say hi and you beat it on the head with a hammer?
Yes.
It is a
you
mole,
whack
right?
him.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's called whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Quality game. I'm pretty good at whack-a-mole. A lot of whack-a-mole machines, though, are broken.
But is it an esport?
Well, I tell you what, the amount of games that are being called esports nowadays, I would say that whack-a-mole. Yeah, absolutely. It's actually, I would say, in the top 50% of esports as far as quality and skill.
Okay, so Bunny's pushing out. I gotta say, so far so good. He's gotta be careful with how much he's clubbing these tanks up.
Dude, parasitic bomb, man.
He's clubbing these tanks up so tightly that I think it's almost just one blinding cloud and just make them all disabled here.
Oh my God, and in come the Broodlords as well. Meanwhile, he's playing whack-a-mole, whack-a-nitus over in his main base. Uh-oh, tasteless. Uh-oh.
Oh, ow, 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 oh. Okay, well, look at how each different unit composition beats each other unit composition. Yeah. Bunny's here.
True. Oh my God.
Okay, he's like, coming back, never mind. He's like skinny. He's like, so that's how badly I'm losing. Nidus coming out here on the front.
93 drones.
Oh my God, you're right.
Madness. Another Nidus is coming up. Where is it? Where's that Nidus?
Huh? No, it's just a screenshot above. One screen above.
Oh, okay.
It's at the front.
I was like staring at the mini-map for it.
Okay. Now, even though Dark is looking pretty impressive, this is not going to be that easy to push into. Planetary is very helpful here, especially with the sensor tower, able to kind of give Bunny a pre-read on what's going to happen, what the unit movement is. But behind this, Dark continues to expand. And it almost seems to me as though he's actually ditched going for that push. Okay. Here we go. 2 bars going in different directions. Who wins?
I wonder if he's had so many Niduses denied at this point. I bet you he doesn't even have anything in the Nidus worm ready to come out. It's like a waste of supply because none of them open. My God.
Looks like Bunny wants to try to move out again. He is maxed once more.
Huge amounts of air anti-air rather, being produced. Lots of Thors as well as Vikings.
Yeah, we're in a bit of that Viking Corruptor arms race here.
Thor is definitely going to help out here as well.
Okay, is this enough to chase away Broodlords in a pretty congested little narrow part of the map?
No, with the blinding clouds there, no. Right, backing up for now. Way more Vikings being produced. Ultralisk Cavern coming down. I love that Dark is just kind of continue on all upgrades.
Okay, more blinding clouds.
Dark is just so good with Vipers.
If it's going to be a win here, it'll be with the Vikings if he has enough. Actually, I do not think he has enough.
I think he does. I think he's going to wipe out all this, but then the Hydras are going to kill everything, huh?
Wow. Again, like I said in game 2, if I had never seen this game before, and I would assume that there's never been a moment where Terran's beaten Zerg.
Well, Tasteless, let me tell you something. If you actually had seen this game before and, in fact, were a professional player of the Terran race, you'd probably think that as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, so...
I forgot. Yeah, I have been...
You're not really that far off.
Bunny is not dead, but I certainly don't know that he's necessarily going to be alive in this game for much longer. I don't see an exit strategy that's going to give Bunny a win here in game 3, especially just the way this game's going. Look at the minerals and Vespian gas here, and the fact that Dark is already maxed out.
No, it's wild how much his economy is. It's just everywhere. He's just in so much control. But Bunny, he's actually getting a fusion core. That's kind of interesting. By the way, you said you were going to be satisfied about something before. What was that again? You remember?
Can't remember.
Something was going to be very satisfying to you. I want to mention that seeing Spire upgrades lined up, you see that?
That feels good.
2-2 is lined up?
Yeah.
That I find deeply satisfying because that only means one thing. You went for your Spires after you already had a giant economy. You're ending the game with that type of tech, and you have a giant economy because you have 2 Spires that waited for upgrade. Oh my God, look at it.
Well, I mean, this goes to show you that Dark is absolutely terrifying, not just with his aggro strategies, but in his late game.
Yeah.
He completes the entire picture of Zerg.
We have so many strong players in GSL this season. Like, there's a lot of players that look like this is a winnable season for them.
So, we haven't really seen Bunny make a dent here. He is maxed out again. The problem is that, again, Bunny doesn't seem to be able to push at all against Dark. You know, he's a lot more passive after mid-game than a lot of these other players.
He tried a couple pushes. It's just Dark's usage overall, Viper Corruptor, a few Hydras, and the Broodlords. Like, his control of that army, the way that he's defending, it's really hard to get in there. And you're sitting here, we're watching Mech being played, right? So you're kind of having to brute force it. You can't, he doesn't have ghosts or something like that, which is kind of a funny thing to point out because we've seen some of the top Terrans switch from Mech into Ghost Mech a little bit later against comps like this.
Okay. Well, this army is completely surrounded.
Dude, that parasitic bomb on the left, you see that?
Yeah.
You see what I see?
Yeah.
The amount of damage that parasitic bomb dealt. Oh my God.
Well, all of Bunny's robots on the ground are gone. And
there's a few robots in the sky still, but they're all red.
Sky robots are going to die too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
The Thor Juniors are going to die.
Thor Juniors.
That's all there, man. They're Thor Juniors.
Which one is the Thor Junior?
The Viking.
Oh, okay.
When they're on the ground.
Yeah. Seems like that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, look at Bunny's face. He's making a frog face. That's how you know.
Feels bad.
He's a rabbit,
GG.
not a ribbit.
GG. That does it for our first best of 5. We are going to have an interview with Dark. Wow, I was really, I'm not going to lie, guys, I was kind of rooting for Dark tonight. I'm sorry, for Bunny tonight, but...
I know, you didn't even introduce us before you started talking about how much you wanted to see Bunny do well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, it was exciting to have him in the top 8 here, but Dark is showing just how big of a gap there is between him and so many of these other players.
Yeah.
By the way, Dark is looking, I think, scarier than we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and when you look at he's in the round of 4, his next opponent will be Rogue. Because Rogue ain't losing the Classic in the next match, let me tell you. And that's doable. That's hard, of course. Rogue is the second best Zerg in the world, but
All right, we have our first semi-finalist, Dark from Coastal Crew. Congratulations.
네, 3대0 승리를 거두고 세
No,
시즌
that was a
만에
clean
파이널에
sweep
진출하게
victory.
됐습니다. 오랜만에
Now you made it to the
파이널
semi-finals in
어떠셨나요?
3 seasons. How do you feel?
이번에 경기 준비하면서 좀
While I was prepping for this match,
준비하면서 가장 좀 안 풀렸던
경기였던 것 같아요. During the preparation, things didn't really go too well for me. However, in the actual matches, everything went well, so I feel relieved. No, both your defense and high macro were very stellar. What were some of the pinpoints on your preparations? No, when I was practicing with other players, I just couldn't win, so I really felt anxious and I felt that I may not be able to win. Despite all that, you were able to win cleanly. How do you feel about the psychological effects of being on the quarterfinal stage? I think he was kind of scared playing versus me because of our past history. I think that's why I was able to win with these. No, there was also a moment where some of the builds that you weren't able to predict, such as the Battlecruiser build, despite all that, you were fending it off pretty well. Were you prepared for this? No. No, initially when I do the press with Roaches and Ravagers, I knew I was going to have the upper hand. However, I didn't expect the Battlecruiser yet. Because of all the experience that I have received in the past, I was able to keep up the game. No, a lot of people are predicting that this is your season to win it all. Do you feel about it? No, I am always feeling that I'm always open to winning the entire championship. So, however, the results weren't good in the past, but I'll fix that for sure. And now you have to face either Classic or Rogue in semifinals. And whenever you had the golden opportunities, your mirror matches kind of held you back. How do you feel? No, I'm gonna root for Classic hard, but even if Rogue comes advances, I think my ZVC kind of got sharper and better since the last tournaments. So I think I have a good chance for it. There are a lot of fans in the studio today. Any last words to the fans about your semi-final advancement? No, it was Bunny's first quarterfinals. And whenever I've encountered Bunny, I think I've always been the roadblock of him, so I feel a little bit bad. But since he's playing quite well, so I think he can hope for his success next season. And see all of you in the semifinals. Thank you.
All right.
See you there, Dark.
Indeed. All right. Dark in the round of 4. Already looking like a strong round of 4 for sure.
Yeah. This is the lowest our desk has ever been. You can almost,
it's pretty low.
It's almost to our belly buttons. How about that? Here's the information at the bottom of the screen if you want to purchase a ticket. We've changed the way that this works. I think a lot of times people came down and had to purchase it in person. We'll be updated on this later, but I believe for now you need to actually get it online.
Yes.
So do that. That's the link.
Because it was this weird thing before where people had to come to the studio hours before and like line up and get a ticket to buy a ticket or something.
We're trying to make this more convenient.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Go to Ticket Link and buy it there.
We're going to go to a short break. We come back the next best of 5.